Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Khabri. As of now, it's just Rishi and I. Adi's just going to join in a couple of minutes. Rishi, dude, lots of stuff being made out about Virat Kohli's performances at the Ranji Trophy. It was Delhi Railways, and he got six. I think if I'm not wrong, I'll just quickly verify that. But yeah, not the performance he was looking for after I would say a rather poor Australia series, except for that 100, which came not when India weren't really under pressure. 6 of 15 is what he managed in the end, and got out to um, a relatively okay, like decent, a good delivery, but I wouldn't say it was world class or it should be something that somebody of his quality should be getting beaten by, right? First of all, it was really nice to see the reception that he got at the ground, which is so many people coming just to watch him. It kind of supports the whole occasion as well. Like so much support for Ranji Trophy. Of course, Delhi ended up winning this game quite comfortably in the end. Um, but there is so much around Virat Kohli and his performance. We'll talk about the rest. Let's start with Virat. Big question mark ahead of the England tour. What do you think, dude?
Bro,
Is
do
there?
you like first of all tell me, do you feel that was support in a positive sense for Ranji Trophy? Like, do you feel that was something positive for the Ranji Trophy?
Dude, I'll tell you why I think it's positive. Okay, I think it's positive because it shows us that if you actually make all these players available for Ranji Trophy matches, people will come to watch. Like that's massive. Like if KL Rahul is playing for Karnataka, people will go and watch. Bro, I remember Duleep Trophy. So many people turned up. Bro, KL is batting. That stand was full. The one stand that they opened. And I think now also like Karnataka playing. I don't know how many people went to watch because I'm not there, but I'm sure KL Rahul is playing. Oh, big deal. Rohit Sharma is there. Oh, big deal. Virat Kohli. Bro, I think if all these big players play, people will come out to watch. So it's also that without paying the money that you pay for an India match, for a lot of people they get to watch these guys. I think it makes a big difference that way. Like what Ranji Trophy games are free. I mean, so that way if you look at it, I think it's only a good thing that some superstars go and play and like you get people that pool comes around. There's more interest, bro. Like I don't know if people knew what was happening in the Ranji Trophy or like who was qualifying or what the situation was. But I think suddenly because of all these players playing, oh, actually, what is happening? Well, let's see where is our team? Like, are they going to qualify? Are they not going to qualify? A lot more talk about it. At least even here also, like I'm seeing a lot more people talking about Ranji Trophy. What is going to happen? What are the qualification scenarios? Who is going to qualify? Does it matter? And all of that. So I think somewhere it does play an impact, but Virat Kohli in particular, of course, it was the support was for the player more than the tournament or the competition. But on him, what do you think of it, dude?
So,
It
like,
was
yeah, I'll
impressive.
get to what I thought of Virat, his performance, but in general, I just wanted to talk about these A-list players, these superstars. Like,
Yeah,
of course, I'm not including KL Rahul. Like, I'm more like edging towards the Rohit Sharmas, the Virat Kohlis. Like, what I felt, what I saw was there was a lot of fanfare, there was a lot of attention in both, like whether it be in the stadiums or whether it be in social media. Like, you could see for even for the Delhi game, people were queuing up from 5 a.m. for the game.
yeah,
Like
it's
people are taking leaves from their jobs and going and viewing. But the downside was that the minute Rohit Sharma got out or the minute Virat Kohli got out, the stadiums emptied.
yeah.
Like they left like this. So what I felt what BCCI were trying to do, they wanted to end the superstar culture. They wanted everyone to go back and play your basics, represent your states or whichever teams you did, and boost Ranji Trophy that way, or get more importantly, get accustomed to your home conditions. Like you could
Mm,
see these players were severely lacking the familiarity with the home conditions, like in the
mm,
recent tests. So I feel both of those purposes were defeated because the kind of fanfare that these guys got, like I still felt on day one, the crowd that the Delhi game held was simply because there was an expectation that okay, even if there were like, dude, people were not leaving when there were 5 overs left, when there were 4 overs left, right
yeah,
until stump, because
yeah,
Virat Kohli was next in line to bat.
Correct. Yeah.
Yashbul and the other batsmen held on till stumps. And the
Yeah.
minute Virat Kohli got out, the day, like the next, the on day two, the stadium's emptied. Like, so BCCI wanting to end the superstar culture, this is just counterproductive. This is just showing that how much pull these guys have. Now, maybe in the long term, if these guys continue to play, it might be different. But then I feel like the damage has been done too far. Like the fans are so, like, devoted to their certain individual players. Like even back in the day, we had our Dravid cults, we had our Sachin cults. The almost whole of North India and West Bengal were Ganguly fans. But at the end of the day, when a Ranji game was happening, people still watched it for the Ranji game. Not many people watched it, like, don't get me wrong, but they still, the ones who watched because they wanted to watch the game. And of course, these guys regularly and diligently went and played. But now that it's changed to such an occasion where, okay, like, these superstars are coming and gracing us, like that pretty much was a testament when, like, certain social media Twitter presence was saying, yeah, the Ranji Trophy is blessed because Virat Kohli is coming and playing. Even
Yeah.
Ashwin
That's
had
too
to,
much. Yeah. That's a bit
yeah,
much. Yeah.
like Ranji Trophy has been happening since decades, since the start of the game, like in India. Like, we don't need play a certain A-listers for the game to survive. Like, the game will go on, maybe with
Yeah.
not as much as fanfare, but the game will go on. So for now, I felt it was slightly counterproductive. But hopefully, if they can keep up their appearances, if they can, then definitely it'll be, at the end of the day, if you, even if you come to watch Virat, like I saw on day one, they ended up watching the whole game. I don't know when was the last time a full stadium, Arun Jaitley stadium, a packed Arun Jaitley stadium was watching a Ranji Trophy game. So at least in that sense, you can say, okay, it's good for the game. So hopefully these guys show up more often, then it'll definitely benefit the
Bro,
game
yeah,
for
I
sure.
really hope it does happen. Superstar culture, I think, exists, like, of course, in all sports, but I think in India, it is to an extent that is very, very big, in the sense that I've seen a lot of journalists say that India is Indians don't love cricket, but they love cricketers.
Yeah,
And that is
exactly.
how it has been, like, for a long time. And clearly, you can see now that that is how it is right now. And yeah, dude, you look at it like you're saying, we're saying like superstars. Virat Kohli is doing Ranji Trophy a favor by showing up. I don't think he would say that, or anyone would say that. Like, and any of the cricketers would say, they would say, yeah, it's a
Exactly.
responsibility for their state and something that they started off. They have to do it. It's not like, yeah, anybody's doing anyone a favor. On the other hand, you actually have guys who are regularly appearing, man. Cheteshwar Pujara again, 99, bro. Like, it's just, again, just goes to show you the class and the talent you still have. And if you, especially on big tours, where you need results and you have like guys like this, I know it's still weird to me that we haven't given somebody like a Pujara a look in. Um, but on his batting, bro, what do you think? Like, more pressure now on Virat Kohli after that performance, because there's no Test cricket for a while for India now, and there's no. Of course, he won't be playing first class cricket because he has Champions Trophy commitments with India, and then the IPL begins. He goes away with RCB, so effectively very little Test cricket for Virat until the England tour. Lots of pressure, and yeah, what did you think of his batting? Very short innings, but
I mean, very short innings, and that was a good ball from Sangwan. Like, don't get me wrong, but the
it's a
way
good ball.
he,
It's a good ball.
like,
Yeah,
the way Himanshu Sangwan, that, like, they were there's a lot of lateral movement. Like, even on the previous day, towards the end, they were getting a lot of lateral movement. So, like, we kind of knew what it would be like at the start of play as well. Like, there would be a lot of lateral movement, and it looked like Virat kind of threw the kitchen sink at it. Like, okay, he expected the ball to come. He made an estimated guess, and then he just threw both the hands. Like, you could see the bat. He just left the hand. Like, he ended up holding the bat with just one hand. And I mean, yeah, like what you said, like that, there's going to be a lot of pressure now. But should you read a lot into it? Like, because if it is someone younger with a bigger, with a longer future ahead, then I'd be a little bit more concerned, because you still have a lot to build on. Like, each performance, each uh, each performance you can analyze. You have something to look forward to, something to learn from. Like if Yashasvi
Yeah.
Jaiswal was going through a bad patch, like you can say, okay, dude, this is concerning because this is an issue which if we don't address, like people are going to exploit for a long time. Virat and Rohit Sharma, like Rohit Sharma, the way he got out in the previous test was exactly how Pat Cummins got him out. Like I don't think
Yeah.
anything changed. So like I wouldn't read too much into it. Like of course, like Virat, you still have some like a little bit more of expectations from him, but then you like there is a textbook. I mean, there is a whole textbook on how to get him out at this point. Like if the bowlers just follow that, like I don't think he's going to move any. Like he's going not going to budge and he's going to play his own way. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
I
Sort of
like at
through
this
the
point
hands, I think.
I'm like that is just the way he is, not in a positive way. Like so I wasn't surprised, but again, like when it's Virat, like he's at the end of the day he's bailed us out on so many occasions. So that inevitable expectations come from him.
Yeah, but this is incredible. I think now Virat Kohli's test career is officially in jeopardy. Like, I don't know how the Indian team is not going to see this,
But
but
is it though? Like now assume you are the selector, okay? Of course,
yeah.
now sitting here, it's easy for us to say drop Virat, drop Virat. Now June comes, okay? Like okay, assume Virat plays two more Ranji games, okay? He scores 150,
Mm.
and rest are all say below 20 runs. Would you drop him going into England? Considering you can't bring back someone like Pujara and Rahane. So he's probably the most experienced batter in our squad
I
right now.
still
Would you
don't know
drop him?
why we cannot play Pujara, for example. Like, if I'm getting bet something more from Pujara than I'm getting from Virat, I will go. Why should I not go for Pujara instead of Virat? Like, what
Because
is holding me back?
that ship like I'm just thinking from a realistic coach perspective, because you said Tata bye bye, that ship has already sailed. Like
No, yeah, 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 yeah.
it set its sail, it's gone off course. Like there's no way you can bring back that ship anymore. Like so now we have what we have in our dock are these limited options. We have to work with it. So again, that's why I said, like if it were up to us, we'd bring back both Rahane and Pujara because of what they have to offer. Like but we
No,
don't have that option.
if you're
So
saying okay, this is it. There's no more Pujara. There's no more Rahane,
yeah.
and I would still say Virat's like test career is in jeopardy because he's not delivering, bro. Like he's just not delivering, and okay, he has credit in the bank because of the player he has been over the years. But it's not that it's over a short period like Rohit. I think Rohit's still relatively shorter period than Virat that he's shown this slump. Virat's has been a while. It's been a while now, and it hasn't come. And if it comes to a point where we have to go on a big tour, I might just be like, bro, you know what? Give somebody a chance. Give somebody else a chance. It's okay. He's anyway struggling. Like I might as well give another kid like 4 or 5 games so that he's well prepared for the next time he goes to England. Now, if I'm playing Virat again and he doesn't deliver, bro, I feel like for him, I don't. And in a very weird way, like even for the player, it could get ugly. Like in the sense, if he doesn't deliver, then what? How will fans react? Already, people are losing their minds. Already,
I mean,
journalists are
Rahul, see,
losing their head.
at this point, Indian cricket is like when it comes to Virat Kohli, it's like polarized. Like there are Virat supporters and there are the rest. So the Virat supporters, I don't think they're going to switch sides. They're
But
going
the
to
Virat
rely on
supporters, you
that.
leave. You leave. They
Like
are. You can't do anything about the Virat supporters. Like,
the
what can
others,
you do?
are still just going to like see the others like us are already of the opinion that okay, like I think it's time to part ways. I don't think we are also going to change, right? So come the England tour, say he underperforms, our stance won't change. Neither will the Virat supporters' stance change. That's going to be the same.
No, but Virat supporters, though, anyways, they won't change. Like, I think that is like the for any hardcore fan base where if you're a hardcore fan, like I know a lot of Rohit Sharma fans, bro. I'm sure they also won't be like, no, drop Rohit or whatever. So if they will be there, they will always say that play him no matter what, doesn't matter. He's done this, that, all of that, obviously. But now when it comes to it eventually, like, and you haven't performed for such a long time, there will come a point where, bro, like, it's just not happy. And even the way he got out, even in this game, he threw the hands at it, bro. Like, it's not like he was trying to play like proper test cricketing shots, or like play proper, like the proper way it has to be played, right? Even the 15 balls he played, he struggled. Like if you like go through that, it's not like he was having a good time there anyway. Uh, he threw the hands at it after one that after he drove like 1 for 4. So it was again like, bro, and honestly, like he came in at a point where it is ideal for him. I think it was 80 for 2 or something like that, Delhi. So perfect, well set up. The new ball has been played out. Um, but yeah, bro, like I don't know, it's just something about it. It's just not. It's okay. Like I don't think it's that big an issue that, oh my god, why? Oh, it's not happening. It's okay. It's not happening. It's not happening. You, bro, like Virat has been a like whatever one of the best cricketers, obviously for India. Test cricket, I don't know where he stands, and I don't know what his legacy will be at the end of it. But he's been one of the best cricketers ever, and like it's okay to say that it's not happening, man. Like it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm sure Virat will get another Test series at home at some point, even if he doesn't play at England. I'm sure he'll get another Test series at home. And he'll get his last couple of games and all of that, and we'll obviously everyone will give him a very good send off. But right now it's not happening, bro. Like how much will you sustain? How much will you like go with it? Like to what extent will you keep going with it? I don't know. But yeah, Adi, the conversations about Virat Kohli and his Ranji Trophy performance, of course, just one innings, but do you think it is adding more? It adds more pressure after, like, of course, his recent performances. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I mean, I said it before. I said it again. I don't think any performance in Ranji holds that much of value. I think if you're playing Ranji, you should be scoring runs as an Indian team player. Even though conditions are not easy to come and play, you have to put in context. Like giving everyone a test match to play and then going back to ODI, I just don't think it makes sense for anybody. And I said that before. Like even if you come score a century, I don't think it has much of value, just for the fact that you're not getting anything out of it. Also, if you're getting out early, for me overall, I don't think it adds much value when you put context to the players. Like again, like for example, even Jaiswal struggled in the first test for Mumbai. So will you guys put anything into that? Like that's the point. You have to add in context to every innings. Like I don't think Gill had a great first innings. He played better in the second innings. Obviously, like Virat didn't get that choice. For example, even KL didn't do that great in a very very easy flat track in Chinnaswamy. I don't think it was that tough to play in these conditions. And Rohit Sharma again, another player who didn't play well. So I really don't want to sit and say it's a matter of you have to play Ranji well or else you're kicked out of the team, because it doesn't hold the same value for everyone. If you're saying it holds value for one person, it should be for the entire 11, including the bowlers, because I think even bowlers have the same thing. If Siraj is not performing well in the Ranji, I don't think he played that well in the Ranji Trophy yesterday. For example, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, I think he got 8 wickets or something in the Ranji Trophy match. So are you going to start saying, okay, now he needs to come back into the team because they're playing well in the Ranji? So it's so much more nuanced than just saying go to Ranji, play one match. If you don't perform, you're out of the team. Just doesn't make sense, because you have to build a rhythm in a tournament. First of all, you come from Australia, you suddenly play in Indian conditions, just one match, then you go play again, back to playing ODI cricket. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like if you're playing Ranji Trophy, you have to value it in the essence of the trophy itself. I mean the tournament itself, and play at least 4 to 5 test matches to get in some rhythm into the test match. Show what you can do over a 5 game period. Like it doesn't make sense. You play one game, then you go back playing ODI. It just doesn't make sense for anyone to even put any judgments based on that performance.
No, I think I want to, because simply because of the fact that it's not about, okay, bro, it's just one game. Yeah, I understand that it's just one game. It doesn't count for anything, but you can still look at the methods that any batter is applying, or like the way he's going about his business. Virat did not look comfortable at all. So that I can say, like, regardless of where it is, what condition it is, or what the situation is, he didn't look comfortable. And that has been a sign that has not just happened in this game, but it has happened throughout, like for a while now, where it just doesn't look, he doesn't look as comfortable anymore as at least he used to early on. So that I would still say, like, bro, I think there's a gaping hole there. Clearly it's not about him not scoring runs per se, but just the whole approach and the way he's going about his work. So I think that
But
is the
what do
only
you want to
concern.
do? That was a good ball. You can't help it. Like you can't just say
I'm not
you're
talking
not.
about that ball.
But my
Exactly what I'm
point is, you
saying.
can't say he was not looking comfortable in Test matches. Like as a Test player, you don't have to look comfortable to score runs in Test matches. That's the point.
Yeah,
Like, you
no,
look at
but
Pujara. There's so
you
many
know
times he
when a
doesn't look
batsman is
comfortable.
in control, you know when a batter is in control,
Bro,
and
the pitch
when
was
you
very
see a
tough to bat.
batter,
I don't think the Delhi pitch was a very easy batting condition.
Ayush Badoni
Like
scored
bat,
99 on the same wicket
Rahul,
in the
fair
same
enough. But
innings.
my whole point is, I can't just put in the context of, yeah, it was a very easy batting pitch. Like the ball he faced was a very good ball and he got out.
I'm
Whatever,
not
you can't do
saying the
much.
ball wasn't a good ball. I'm saying him as a batter, when he came into bat and when he played those 15 deliveries, he didn't look comfortable. He
Yeah,
was
but that
given
is
a
normal in
bunch
a
of
test
time.
match. Like Rahul,
He was
like it's
given a
normal in
bunch
a
of
test
Okay,
time.
match.
Adi,
It is
very
very
fair
normal
that
in a test match not to
Adi,
feel
Even
comfortable.
even in this
Look at
game,
Steve
even
Smith in
when
the Australia versus India series. The first test match, he didn't look comfortable at all. Second match, he played well. That's my whole point. You
no,
can't
but
just say
Adi,
he didn't look
very
still,
true,
comfortable.
very
bro,
true.
there are
You don't have to like
small
initially.
things.
You don't have to look comfortable. You just have to dig in and like see through the initial spell, and then like yeah, as long as you're on top of your game, or if you're able to handle it, fair enough. But like the thing with Virat is, except for that solitary performance in Perth, which was a dead track game. Okay, but okay, whatever. He played that very good innings. The remaining like recent history, the recent past, he like the story has been the same. Like at what point do you say he has been on top of the game? He has been comfortable. He has been playing comfortable, or he's been looking like he can dig in and play. Like maybe that one innings in Bangalore against New Zealand. Other than that, I can't think of an innings where he was on top of the game, or he looked like, okay, I'm gonna be like, I'm determined, I'm gonna stay in, I'm gonna see out the day, I'm gonna give what the team needs. Like
Bro,
that
when
hasn't come from him in a
yeah,
long time. Like that's the difference. Like if Yashasvi Jaiswal has a poor performance, he still has a lot of credit in the bank because he's played well. Like even if he hasn't looked good, the runs have come, or he's given the team what we need. But the same hasn't come from Virat. That's the difference. Like you don't have
bro,
to look world class every time you bat. You don't have to look world class, but at some point you have to contribute. No, that's what
bro,
has been
a
lacking for a
very
while.
very simple difference between Virat Kohli and the rest of his peers. I'm talking about Joe Root, Ken Williamson, Steve Smith. Very simple difference. Virat Kohli in the 15 balls that he played, even in this innings, tried to play a few outside off where he just literally just missed the ball. Like he could have easily hit one of those, and again we would have been in the same conversation. Why is he throwing his bat outside off stump? We would have had the same conversation. Didn't happen. Lucky Virat gone. Okay. The same thing. Steve Smith, Joe Root, the way they approach the game is I very like test cricket like, in the sense that if it is outside off stump, they will leave the ball, let the ball go. If it's not what I'm trying to say is, it's very simple. Virat Kohli didn't look comfortable because he's not playing the right way. Like I at least think, if you get out to a good ball, you get out to a good ball, but you need to show that you have the temperament to play the right way
Yeah, but he couldn't leave
for
the
that
ball he
match.
got out to anyways. So like it
What?
again comes down to the fact that he can't leave that ball. The ball which he got out, what do you
I'm
expect
not
him to do? Do you
asking him
want
to
him to
leave
leave the
that
ball?
ball. I'm talking about the balls outside off stump. He doesn't need to play. He plays at them still.
But that
If
see
you're a
again
Or
good
this idea
batter,
of
if you're
but
like a
I don't
good
agree
even
with the
batter,
idea. I don't agree with the idea of
there's a
saying he
way
doesn't
to
need to play the off stump ball. Like I just don't get it. Like you
okay, fine,
are you
okay.
saying
Now
to
I
leave
don't know.
100
I
out of
don't know
100
how
balls?
you. I don't know
Like
what your assessment is based on. But for me, if you're
Rahul,
one
wait.
innings,
My
yeah.
argument is simple. Like you
Hmm.
see the last test match against Australia. In the first innings, he scored 36 out of 86 balls or something like that, right? 89, whatever balls. And I remember that day you guys were saying he's playing well, he's leaving the balls on the off stump, and he was doing that very well.
Yeah.
He still got out in the last ball after like whatever, a lot of number of balls, he still got out to the ball. The point is you can leave 100 balls, but the 101st ball, you can still get out to an off stump
Dude,
ball.
that is
My
exactly the
argument
point. It is about having the temperament to not do that. If
Rahul, but
that is
I'm
what
sorry,
sets apart.
everyone plays that. Are you
No, that
saying
is
Joe Root
what
doesn't play
no,
an off
they
stump
don't.
ball? Are you
That is
saying
what
Steve Smith
sets
doesn't play
apart.
an off stump
That
ball?
is what sets apart
Like
Steve
that
Smith
doesn't
and
make
Joe
sense.
Root from
Adi,
Virat
even
Kohli.
even if you want to
That is
play an
what
off stump ball,
sets them
Virat
apart.
Kohli scored boundaries in that innings off mid Stark when the ball was over pitched and outside off. If the ball is fourth stump, fifth stump ball, and if it's short of good length, you leave it. It's literally
Rishi,
one
but this
length.
ball, the
The
ball he
length is
got out
not the same.
recently, he can't leave the ball. Like again, it
Yeah,
comes down,
true, true,
can he
true.
leave that
No,
ball?
but
Yeah,
he's
there's no
asking
way
you to
you should
leave a
leave it,
straight
but
ball. That's
that's
not the
like
Exactly.
question.
you don't
And that
approach
was a
that
very
way as
good ball.
well.
I think any player is
That
getting out on that ball. So again, it comes down to you
that
can't just say he looked uncomfortable in this 15,
Are
16
you
balls he
telling me
played.
that shot that he
He
played,
did.
a Hail
He
Mary
did. He
shot,
did
was
look
a good
uncomfortable.
shot? to attempt. That, like, I don't think that was a
What?
good shot to attempt to begin
Yeah.
with.
No, but that swung in so much. Like at the end of the day, even if he could defend, he
Brother,
might still
the
get out.
point
Like it
is,
can still go
it is
through
the
your pads.
approach
Like
that
it doesn't
matters.
matter. Like,
Bro, if you know, okay, fine. Anybody like who knows like the best test players, it's very simple. You wait for the ball to come to you, right? Like it doesn't matter if the ball is coming in or going out. You wait for the ball to come to you. Play late. You play with soft hands. It's basics, bro. Nobody has to tell you this. Like, okay, the second you
bro,
start throwing
even
your hands at the ball, it means that you're not in your zone. If you see Virat Kohli in his best performances, in even in Australia, the couple of innings that he looked really good, I thought, was when he played the ball late, was when like he played the ball under his eye, when he was not throwing his hands at the ball, when like he was leaving
oh,
just
I feel like even in the first test match
it's a
he
discipline
was
thing.
still playing the same way. Like I
No, the
don't think
first
it
test match
changed
I didn't
anything.
watch Virat Kohli's innings. I don't know, but every other innings of his I have watched, and he didn't look good except for the one, I think, the last test in the last test. That's the only one where like I thought, okay, he actually is showing temperament. He's showing that he has the ability to do it. And
So are you
he
saying out of 4 innings he looked good in 1 innings and then look good in 3 innings, and you're saying that's enough to be like, yeah,
eight
it's done?
innings, one he looked good. I'm saying.
No, no, no. Since the century, they only played 4 innings, right? Because one test match had rained.
So do you think what they didn't bat only over in Brisbane? They
What?
batted.
He played what 4 or 5 innings
He
after that.
out also.
Since the century, I'm saying. You
There
said
are
he looked only good in
after the
one.
century there were four test matches. That means 8 innings were there. You're telling me they only played 4 innings in that 8 innings.
Rahul, there were 3 test matches. One was washed out, my friend.
Adi, it was a five test match series.
Rahul, after the century, 4 test matches, and that one was a washout, if I'm not
One
wrong.
innings was
The
a
entire
washout.
test match will not get washed out.
There was
No.
a first innings for that. Out of 8 innings, 7 innings were
Oh, yeah,
played.
yeah, yeah. Fine, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
So
Yeah,
out of
correct. The
seven
second
innings.
inning,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
but I still, bro, that's the point. Like, 1 innings, 6 innings bad, but then you look previous over history, you're saying that, okay, these 7 to 10 innings haven't been
it's
good.
not just
Let's
these
just
seven to
drop
ten
him.
innings. It is
What do
even
you mean,
before that.
Rahul?
New Zealand
What? How?
he didn't look good. New Zealand he didn't look good.
Bro,
Now what?
tell me which player looked good to be like only Virat should be.
Bro,
Wait, 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 wait,
I
wait.
am simply saying
In this
this.
idea,
Who are, bro? One second.
wait,
Are
wait, 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 bro. In your logic, the entire batting unit should be dropped. In your logic, the entire batting
the
unit
for
should
the
be dropped.
best cricketers in the world, it should not matter where they're playing. They should perform. This is what you say.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
they
no.
should be
That's not
performing
my
good then.
point. My
By that
point
logic, they should be
is,
doing well.
no, 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 no. You're telling,
Yeah.
oh, Virat's not played well, he should be dropped. But in your logic, the entire batting unit from number 1 to number 7 should be dropped because no one played well in the New Zealand series. Like literally nobody played well in the New Zealand series.
Brother,
So
for
again,
Virat, it's been an
what is the
extended
context? Like
period.
only for Virat,
Ages.
it's like you have to play certain games. For
Okay, yeah, but
everybody
I'm just
else,
saying like,
no, but for
bro,
everyone
it
else,
has
you
been
have
ages.
everything else. Like it doesn't make sense in my opinion. Like even KL, you're a big fan of KL. Even I think he's good in test matches, but when
Yeah.
he's gotten the chances, he hasn't performed well. Nobody criticizes him because he looks like a test player
What,
and he's
bro?
okay. He plays a
KL
bit well in
Rahul
certain
gets
test matches.
criticized probably the most.
Rahul, but his performances are pretty below the par at the end of the day.
Yeah, it has not been
in
good. Like
in
in the last
That's
Australia,
couple
my
of
this
years, I
point.
agree.
the sad coincidence for him was that in Australia, he most of the time he got out to balls which anyone in the world would have gotten out to. That ball from
Exactly.
Pat
Actually,
That is
Cummins,
the
I think the
difference.
anyone.
first test,
But
I think the
the
first time he
difference
got
was
out was literally coming down the leg stump. It was a wide, and he just tried to play a pull shot. If I'm not wrong, that's how he got out. So
That
don't
was in
sit and tell me
Adelaide. That was
yeah,
he's
in
okay,
gotten
okay,
out
Adelaide.
in
fair. But
That was in
and then
Adelaide.
equals of every
and then
ball.
we
That
take
was
out
in
and
Adelaide. The
then if you
first
go to
test he
take
got
out
out to a
Virat
Brisbane.
Kohli's 7 innings, at least 6 of them either
No,
bowled
bro,
or
I'm
these guys are
agreeing to the
getting them
fact that
out of
there's
the
a
series.
Bro,
Virat
there is
Kohli
a
issue.
difference.
I'm not
Adi, there is a
big.
difference between
I'm the
throwing the
first person
wicket
to say there
away.
is a Virat Kohli issue, but my point is, you guys only say there's a Virat Kohli issue, and the rest of the batsmen,
I
it's
don't
like,
think it's
yeah,
only
it's
a
okay. We
Virat
have to
Kohli
back
issue.
them, we have to push
Bro,
them forward, etc. Like that doesn't make
when you
sense.
go to any tour, any big tour, I've been saying this from day one. You're looking at your biggest players, the most senior players, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, the biggest names to deliver. I can't sit and tell 20-year-old Yashasvi Jaiswal, bro, you have more responsibility than Virat Kohli. Of course not. When you go to big tours, you always looked at Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid. You want them to do well because they're the senior players. You're not going to go and tell
No,
a
but
20-year-old
at the point in time, Sachin was a
Dinesh
senior player
Karthik,
since
go. You didn't
18,
play, you didn't
Rahul.
score runs in England. Go,
No, no, no,
go
no,
home.
no.
Then
Wait.
what?
Sachin was a senior player since 18, 19. He was India's best batsman since 18, 19. So I don't agree. Again, your point is senior players don't matter when you're the best batsman. You can be 21-year-old Virat Kohli, go into Australia Test and be the best batsman, which he's done before. I don't agree with the fact that if you're the senior player, you have to play well. At the end of the day, sports is a skill set value.
That
You
is
look at
not,
anything.
unfortunately,
Bro,
in
bro, bro,
cricket,
wait,
that is
wait, wait,
not
wait,
at all.
wait, wait. Let me finish. Let me
Yeah, yeah,
finish.
go for it, go
You
for it.
can be as young as you want. If you're the best player in that team, it is your responsibility. Look at any teams in the world. Take football, cricket. If you are the best player in that team, you have to perform. You can't sit and say you're young, so it's fine for you not to perform over senior players. When your skill set is there, you have to perform. It's as simple as that.
Okay, that's
I don't agree with the fact that you're saying you have to look at only Virat. I still think Virat Kohli is the best player, and that's why he gets the criticism. I get it. But you can't just say that, oh yeah, Yashasvi Jaiswal, it's fine if he doesn't perform. You've still got a platform to go up there and perform. You have to perform. It happens to every player in the world at every age group, but
That's
it just
wrong for
doesn't make
multiple reasons. I'll tell you why. First reason, in cricket, I'll tell you, let me speak. So, the first reason is that in cricket, it's one of those only sports where experience counts a lot because you go to those countries and you play in those conditions. Virat Kohli probably is fourth tour to Australia, fourth tour to Australia, fifth tour to Australia, fifth
But
tour to
what did
Australia.
Virat Kohli do in his first
Let
tour?
me
Tell me.
let me finish. Fifth tour to
What did Virat
Australia,
Kohli do in his first tour?
fifth tour to Australia. Same thing for Rohit
It's
Sharma.
not fifth tour, by the way. You're just making it up. It's not his
Brother,
fifth tour.
2011, 14, 18, 21, and 25.
2020 he
Five.
didn't play, bro. Why are
Okay,
you
bro,
saying
four tour.
2020 he
Okay,
played?
the four tour to Australia. Okay, four tour to Australia. Four tour for Virat Kohli to Australia. KL Rahul, I think third tour. And you're looking at Rohit Sharma, who has also gone a few times to Australia. Now, when I see these players, I'm obviously going to depend more upon them because they've seen these conditions. Same way, when you see Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, you're looking at them because they are the guys who've been there before. It's not because they are the
Rahul,
best batters only.
but what Rahul,
You
what did
might be the
Virat
most
do?
skilled player and not be Virat Kohli. The most skilled player might be Shubman Gill or Yashasvi Jaiswal. But still, when you go in, Cheteshwar Pujara was never the most skilled batter in any of these teams. But you looked at Pujara more because he knows he's played in those conditions before, and he has a temperament to play in those conditions, right? And when you have
No,
that,
but what
when you
I don't
one
see,
second,
no,
wait.
I don't agree with this Pujara discourse because you look at his stats in the last 4 years of his career, he had an average of 20, 22, 23, 45, and then again 23. So what's the point of saying Pujara deserves a chance back in the team
I am
when he
not
was
talking
struggling
about
clearly?
Pujara deserving a chance. I'm saying, why did you look at
We
Pujara to
had the same
perform?
conversation.
Brother, I'm first. Why are we deviating? I'm simply saying. I'm not even saying Pujara should play. I'm not. We're not even talking about that. I'm talking.
But your point is he has a temperament. At the end of the day,
No,
temperament
brother.
is
I'm
not the
saying.
only thing.
I'm saying when you had Pujara in the team, you would look at him and say you have to perform because he has played in those conditions before. If Pujara went to Australia this time, you would have said, "I need runs from Pujara because he's the experienced player. He's played in these conditions before and he's played well." So if Virat Kohli is going to Australia, I'm going to look at Virat Kohli and say, "Bro, I need runs from you because you've played here and you have been successful in the past." That's how it works. I can't look at a 20-year-old, 21-year-old Yashasvi Jaiswal who's going for the first time to play in Mitchell Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood in Australia and say, bro, you need to score hundreds
But
every game.
but but that's
I'm
not what I'm
obviously going to
saying.
look at Virat Kohli. That is like the
Bro,
most
but that's not
ridiculous
what I'm
argument.
saying. So, is your point when you have a 11 player team going to Australia and playing, are you saying it's okay for guys like Jaiswal, Gill not to play well versus Rohit Sharma versus
Dude,
Virat who
are
have to
you
play well?
Wait,
listening
wait,
to
wait,
me?
wait,
I
wait, wait.
never
Yeah,
said it's not okay for them to
about
play
this,
well.
Adi,
Exactly.
Adi,
You,
one second,
What are
one
you
second.
saying?
Let me tell you, it is not a simple yes or no question. I will come. I will give you the proper answer for this. That is, okay. Do you expect them to perform? Yes. Now we these guys will be given a longer rope for two or three reasons. First reason is that they have had better performance in the recent past than your so-called seniors. They've made positive contributions to the team much more recently than your senior players. Two, they do not have a clear glaring issue which the bowlers, so far the bowlers were not making it public, they were not voicing it, but after the series players like Bolan and Cummins are having a laugh about it, saying, yeah, we have a plan, we have just one thing to do, and there's a glaring issue, we are exploiting that every single time. So when you have a senior player, when you have a player who's gone there, who knows what it is to, like, who knows what it feels like to play in those conditions, it is natural that, okay, bro, you've gone there, you know how it is, maybe you stand a better chance than me, who I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know, when the ball hits the good length in Indian pitches, it probably comes to my waist, but if it hits the good length in Waka, it's going to come to my head. I've not been here before, but you've done it in the past. So, and you supposedly you are also in a good form, you are at the end of the day, you are our biggest name. So of course, like, we expect everything equally. You can say that, okay, they are expected to perform, but at the same time you can't criticize the Yashasvi Jaiswals and Nitish Kumar Reddys for failing to perform the same way Virat Kohli is. Now, if Virat was digging in and getting out to good balls, say, okay, like KL Rahul, maybe one that went down the leg was was an anomaly in this series. The remaining 90% of the time he got out were to good balls. Now, if it were like that, at least if there were different ways to get out, no. But this guy is getting out to the same ball, which means there is a clear cut, glaring issue which the bowlers are exploiting time and like they don't even have to think of a plan B. Like that is putting your team in jeopardy. Like let alone contributing positively to your team, you're putting your team in jeopardy because the bowlers they don't have to work that hard. Like they know they don't have to try hard. Like as other batsmen, you know, okay, in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, he's gonna get out. We're gonna have to go and face them. So it is not the same. It's not a simple yes or no saying, okay, like we have to expect the same things from all 11 players. No, like you have 7 batsmen, you have to give a little bit more context. If you have more experience, you have to depend on these guys, these experienced guys who've been here before. If you have the big names with the egos, the ones the leaders, the ones who've been here before, the technical geniuses, one of the best in the generation, you have to live up to that. You can't have the same level of expectation as a Nitish Kumar Reddy. Like every time you get out to the same ball, you can't be like, you know what, it's okay, new kid around the block, he'll find his way. No, at 37, you don't have a lot of time. And the management is looking at batsmen younger than him and they're saying, you know what, we want to go into a different direction. Like Pujara and Rahane are in his same age group. Like they weren't past their prime and they were looked like they were excluded from the team for good. Why? Because they wanted to go in a different direction. And now the same batsman in the same age category, you are giving them multiple chances, but he is failing continuous times. You have to ask questions. You have to ask more questions than you have to ask the youngsters. It's only fair. I don't think there's anything wrong in asking like Virat Kohli to do a little bit more than the youngsters who've never been to Australia before.
Oh, that is not my argument. I never said it's a question of more of Virat versus less of Jaiswal. I'm saying everyone is equally culpable at the end of the day. Again, I come back to the fact that you say that Jaiswal's first tour, Gill's second, basically one and a half, I can say 1.5 tours because he didn't play the full of first time. Nitish Kumar Reddy for first tour, whatever it is. I go back to history means I see players like Sachin, whatever, like Dravid, even like Virat. What did they do in their first tours in different countries? They still went and performed. Virat's first tour in Australia, he was India's top scorer. He scored centuries for fun at that time. That's my whole point. I just don't want to sit and say it's only a matter of I think senior players have the responsibility because guys like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, everybody looks up to them. At the end of the day, if your team is struggling, if the young players are struggling, it is up to the senior players to show that, we can dig it up for you. But again, I come back to the point that every single person is equally culpable. If someone's failing, you can't only look at the senior players and saying he's failing versus the young players saying he's failing, but he's young, so let's go forward with it. I don't agree with that.
No,
In,
that unfortunately
Okay,
that's
so
not
so so once again,
like you tell me,
now
tell me
so
one
okay,
thing.
okay, I'll give you an
I'm
example.
gonna
Wait,
I'm
wait,
gonna
wait,
ask
let me
I'll give you an
I'm gonna ask a
example.
question to the both of
one
you guys.
second.
Okay,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
so now if going to England tour, we have all the context from like say New Zealand from 4 or 5 years before up
Hmm.
until this BGT has gotten over, the domestic series has gotten over. We're going to England
Hmm.
now. Say Virat Kohli plays all 5 tests.
Hmm.
Someone like Nitish Kumar Reddy, his first tour to England has gone there. Okay, the 5 tests are done. Both of them play every single innings.
Hmm.
Both of them score similar amount of runs. They both perform poorly. Are you going to criticize both of them the same way, or
No,
will you
exactly.
now let me
Hmm.
complete.
Hmm.
If say out of the 10 innings, 8 innings Virat Kohli gets out playing that fourth stump, fifth stump ball back to the keeper of the first slip. Okay, Nitish Kumar Reddy, however, like he gets out, like however he got out in the BGT series, at the end of the day, the scores are similar. They've both done poorly. Now, will you accuse them or will you criticize them the same way? Or would you criticize someone like a Virat Kohli to a higher standard? Do you hold them to a higher standard?
No.
Hence, would you criticize him more than Nitish Kumar
But
Reddy?
why
No,
do you
this
hold Virat
happens.
Kohli
No,
to a higher
my
standard? It's just because he's a better player. At the end of the day,
no,
that's the point.
bro.
It's not a
Okay,
wait. It's not a
Okay,
okay,
matter of age,
he's
Rishi.
not
It's
a
a
better,
matter
he's
of
not the
okay.
best,
It is
but
a
he's
matter
best
of age. It
batsman
is a
now.
matter of age. Okay, you know what? I'll give you literally examples. 2011. Okay, India went to England. Okay, India had Suresh Raina in the same squad as the big mighty four. Okay, and okay, no Ganguly, but Raina. Now that series, if a say a Dravid or a Lakshman didn't perform, they would be under the pump because they didn't have, like, Dravid at least did not have a good 2010. They didn't have a good 2010. And I think a 9. I think he had a good
But this
2010.
was
But he did not
supposed to
have.
be his farewell, like his last. He was on his last stand before he scored
Yeah,
those
he was
three,
on
four
his last time, but
centuries.
and he scored 400s. Like, okay,
Yeah,
now if Suresh Raina didn't perform. Nobody else performed in that entire tour. But obviously, they're going to look at the senior players. Like Lakshman will go under the scanner a lot more, which he did after that, and almost kind of had to like retire
Rahul, but
once
just for the
again.
fact that
Yeah,
media does it, we do it. It doesn't mean that's
it's
the
not
right thing.
media.
That's
It's
my whole
not media.
point.
It is simple.
Anyone does it.
No,
Anyone
media
does it.
do
I don't
it.
think it's the
How
right
will
thing.
media do it? It's not about media, bro. It's simply because he was a senior player, and there is a bigger expectation from Lakshman over Suresh Raina. Simple, obvious. It's not. I don't need to explain it. And if Raina doesn't do well and Lakshman doesn't do well, I will obviously pull out Lakshman and say, bro, you're the guy who has been here so many times. He's going on his first tour to England. He doesn't know. He hasn't played swinging conditions. It doesn't happen in India. So it is new to him. It's foreign to him. Like I can understand that for Raina, but for somebody who has been there multiple times, yeah, bro, like it is what it is. Like you can't say anything. Like at the end of the day, you have to pull out the senior players first before you pull out the junior players because they've never played in those conditions. And unfortunately, cricket is a sport where conditions matter a lot. Where
and
you
also
play matters
if
a
you
lot.
if you ended up isolating and criticizing every single youngster who failed to perform in the first Test series, like I don't think other than Yashasvi Jaiswal, Virat Kohli, and Sachin Tendulkar, I don't think anybody else would be representing the Indian cricket team because most of them didn't have great debut
Rishi
series.
Gill
Like
had a very good series when he went and played. I've seen a lot of youngsters. KL, when he came into the Indian team against Australia, he had a good performance. Again, my whole point is when you guys said that it is only a matter of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma don't do well, it's a higher highlight over the other players. I think
it
100%.
it
is.
should be equal. For me, it should be equally there because you look at the other players like Gill, like KL Rahul, like Pant to an extent, like Rohit Sharma, Virat, they've all had the same equal chances everywhere. That's my whole point. It is
What do
not
you
that
mean
these
with
guys have.
chances?
Wait. They've had. Bro, Gill has had enough number of chances since 2020. Maybe Kerala is the only one who I feel like has been treated harsh. I've always said this before because he's always played sometimes opening, sometimes number three, sometimes number four, number six. That's the only guy I can say. But looking at this test series against Australia, he had a pretty consistent performance as an opener or number three, which is pretty much the same thing. I feel like everyone has had the same amount of chances, but we always come back to only Virat. And that's what I'm saying, which I don't agree to. I come back to the point. You guys have like guys like Jaiswal. You have again. I think the point is we have to cultivate the talent because we can see the talent.
Yeah, but it's
But
his
we saw
first
that in
tour.
Gill. Wait, but we saw that with Gill in 2020. We all said we have to give him a chance. They took out guys like Rane Pujara for guys like Gill, KL Rahul, Punt. Show me how it's gone forward. Like that's my whole point. My whole point is just because you take out senior players, if you don't have the right players to come in, I don't think it just works that easily. Because they took out a guy like Pujara again, even though he performed poorly in the last whatever 4 years, 3 years, even Rane had a poor this thing. I remember the point is, did they have the right replacements for them? You guys are talking about Rane Pujara still. Why? Why is that conversation never been taken up forward? We still have a problem with Rane not replacing Rane, a proper number, a five after Kohli. We don't have a proper number three after the openers. We still have it till today. We never talk about Gill. We've never said does Gill really deserve a chance? He's 25 now. He's played enough cricket under Test cricket, for India. The point is like it's not only Virat, it is an entire Indian batting unit. And my point is, I really don't like the dropping culture in at least in cricket because everyone goes through a run of form, bad run of form. My whole point is, do you just drop your whatever superstars or players, or you help them bounce back? That's my whole point. I rather back Virat Kohli coming back because I know the quality he has. For me, it just doesn't make sense. Virat is in a bad patch. Let's drop him because I know what he gives. It's just that if he can change, if we can as whatever as a team, if you have the chance, okay, I have Virat, and if you can help him get over that slump of off stump ball, whatever it is, not playing, in a rhythm, playing, taking it too quickly in a test match. The whole point is you have to cultivate these players to overcome their weaknesses over just saying, yeah, bro, he's not played 6 games, let's drop him. And history shows that Virat has had bad years, but he's always bounced back. So I don't understand the fact that suddenly at 37 you're like, okay, it's just because he's 37 he needs to be dropped. 2 years ago he had a 2022, 2023 was bad. 2024 he had a very good 2020. I mean 2021, 2022 was bad. 2023 his average was 55. No one spoke about it that time. Coming back to 2024, it's again bad. Like that's my whole point. If he can get running, he can give you averages like 55, which I rather have in a team versus when I don't have any replacement. Who is going to replace me? I still don't know one guy who's going to replace Kohli, and I think he's going to do well. And we have the same issue with, again, you're saying you want, Pujara back, etc. Why? We kicked him out at a point of time when he was poor, and you had guys like Gill coming in, and till now we're again holding back to Pujara. Does that make sense? Like, I don't get it.
No, I just want to wrap it up by saying the only reason even I'm saying like okay, yeah, Pujara or whatever, because he's performed in domestic cricket. I think that's how cricket has always worked over the years. Where
What is, can I
if you're
know his
dropped,
average in Ranji, how
if
well
you're
he's done
dropped,
in the Ranji?
if you're dropped from like, wait, if I'm not wrong, like he was playing county before this. He wasn't
So
here.
what is his county numbers? Like
I
I
don't know what
am
his
not
county numbers are.
following his career. Like I can't say he needs to come back because I don't
Yeah,
have any proof. I really don't watch his games, so I can't
yeah,
say it.
county
My
numbers.
whole point
I'm not
is,
sure, but I know he had a very good Ranji season last year also, in 2024,
what
and
was his numbers?
I don't have his exact numbers, but it was a big conversation because he had good numbers that he would be pushed back into the Indian setup. But anyways, for me it's simple for any player. If you're Virat Kohli, Chetan Pujara, doesn't matter. If you're not having a good run of form over an extended period, go back, perform there, and come back. That's fine. That's fair enough. Like that's all. If you have the desire to come back, then perform well again at your domestic level and come back. That's it.
Bro,
Whoever you
come
are, it
on.
doesn't matter who it is.
Bro, I honestly remember when Pujara was playing bad. I don't remember anyone saying Pujara needs to be dropped, and I really don't remember that. I don't remember anyone saying Pujara had to be dropped at that
I'm just
time.
saying, like, I'm saying if that is the case, if they are to get dropped, then you have everyone has the route back, which is the Ranji Trophy, according to me. But yeah, anyways, we'll quickly
I
wrap
don't
up.
think Virat has a chance though. Like he plays international cricket. You just don't have a chance. Let me go play Ranji. Where does he have the chance now to go play
I
Ranji
mean,
Trophy?
again, I think that comes down to personal preference. What do you want to play? Do you want to play Test cricket? Do you want to play white ball cricket and be happy with it? That's
See
So
your
if
personal
eh,
preference. At the end of the
the
day,
this,
you have
Pujaras
freedom
or
to
I
choose.
don't
Radis,
think that's
they
genuine to
don't
just
play
say
county
that.
cricket, they go and play Ranji cricket. Like, of course,
Who?
like good for them that they don't get picked for the white ball setup. But now anyway, like Virat doesn't have to focus on the white ball. Like ODI happens once
He
in a
still
year,
plays
or like
ODI.
Yeah,
two
anyways,
games a year.
ODI
And
cricket
he's
too
anyway
doesn't
retired from
happen anyways.
T20s. So
Yeah,
now if he
that's not.
wants, if he really wants, he can go back to the Ranji
That's true.
setup. It's not like
That's
No,
true.
tell
he
me, how can he play Ranji Trophy this year when he has to play for India, has to play for RCB, then he has to play for, Champions Trophy, etc., and Test. Now, where do you want to sit him and
Yeah,
say just go
the
play
Ranji
Ranji?
Trophy is only when you're not in the Indian Test team. If you're not playing for India, then you play Ranji Trophy. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not playing for the Indian
Yeah,
Test
but
team, you have a
the
lot of time.
conversation is he's in, like, till now he's always been in the Indian team, Rahul. Where was for the past
I am
12
saying if
years,
you
10
get
years?
dropped, I said if the player gets dropped
If you
from
get
India.
dropped, it's a different thing. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's your
then
only
you
chance to
play.
come
That's
back.
it.
That's
That's
not
it.
the
Simple.
conversation,
So
right?
you come and you perform and you come back to the Indian team. And that's what I'm saying. That is where
That is a
you.
normal route. Everyone does it. My
That's
point is,
exactly.
does he
That's
have the
all I'm
time
saying.
right now?
Exactly what even I'm saying. If that is
Rahul,
a
but
normal route,
tell
that's what
me
should be there.
right now, how does he manage his time to sit and say play Ranji Trophy while playing for India?
Right
Can
now,
he do that?
nobody's
He
asking.
can't.
If you're representing India, of course, I'm not going to tell him go and play Ranji. If you're playing for India, you're playing for India. That's it. There's no two ways
I mean,
about
the
it.
conversation's always been that they have to play Ranji, they have to play Ranji, but yeah.
In your off time. But yeah. Anyways, like let's quickly wrap it up. But yeah, that's just where we are. It's not just Virat Kohli again. Just to reiterate, like it's all these senior players who haven't done well, like Rohit Sharma, like your KL Rahul as well. Everybody has an important role to play, especially the senior players, according to me, at least in the Indian Test team. So yeah, that's where we stand. Please let us know in the comments where you stand on Virat Kohli's performance, all the Indian stars' performances in the recent Ranji Trophy games. Yep, like and share the video, subscribe to Sports Kabri. See you soon. Bye bye.